Hi, my name's Sam, Volunteer Support Officer. Today I'm going to talk about treating blackberry in a way that is sensitive to the rest of the environment. So it's really important to note that blackberry is an invasive species and it's a declared weed. However, we do know that it provides really good habitat in the absence of any native species that are in the area for small birds and bandicoots. Bandicoots have been sighted in this area, so we need to be very careful in removing it. We don't actually remove quite precious habitat. So first things first, we need to make sure that we've got our safety right because we're going to be using chemical today. And one of the most important things about using chemical is you want to make sure you don't get any in your eyes. So we want to make sure we've got safety glasses on. And this will also help to make sure our eyes don't get damaged when we're treating things that are spiky. Second of all, you want to make sure that you've got chem safety gloves on. So these are actually designed for chemical use. So rubber gloves that you do the dishes with won't be enough. You actually need something that the chemical can't get through at all. So once we've got those on, and you can put cotton gloves underneath these to make them a bit easier to get on and off. And then we're also going to put thicker gardening gloves over the top just to protect our hands from the blackberry spikes. So the area behind me that I'm going to be working on is quite a small patch of blackberry. This patch we've chosen today because it's a bit of an outlier. So we've got quite a big infestation of blackberry that you probably can't see on camera at the moment. But this one here is a standalone patch. And what we've found in this particular patch, which is why we've chosen it, is there are actually natives here, so the bracken and some native grasses, that are struggling a little bit to get through the blackberry. So if we concentrate on removing the blackberry that's impacting on those particular plants, we'll actually give them a bit more space to grow naturally, give them a little bit more access to light and reduce the competition with the blackberry. We'll also do it in a way that we can work around those plants without causing any off-target damage with the chemical that we're using. So that's why it's really important to use these less disturbing techniques. So the other reason that this is a good patch of blackberry to work on is because we know that bandicoots are less likely to use these smaller outliers as habitat. We have a very large infestation behind us, which they would probably be more inclined to use that. So if we treat this area, we're going to free up the natives, but we also know that it's safe to treat without affecting that bandicoot habitat. So what my tools are today are just simply a pair of secateurs and a swabber with glyphosate, blue dye and water. Red dye in this one. And all I'm going to do is try and find the base of one of the blackberry plants here. So you'll usually spend a bit of time rifling around. And once I get to that base, which is right in amongst the natives, I'm going to push the natives back just gently so I can get right down to the ground. And then what I'm going to do is actually scrape away right close to the ground and up the stem, around about 10 to 15 centimetres of the stem. So I'm just scraping just one side down to the white centre. And then I'm going to snip that off and quickly dab it. So all up the scrape, and then I'm also going to do the cut as well. And so what that means is that I can just target with the herbicide just where I've made the scrape and the cut, and it allows me to avoid doing any off-target damage to the native grasses that are around it. So what we'll do now is just continue on working very delicately on this patch until it's completely removed and it's freed up all of the native fern here. It'll take a while, but it does mean that our native fern's going to be very good.